Hey guys, it's Timmy here, and today's video is going to be about this new idea I had for a video, and it's kind of like 6 months later. It's a look back at games and how they've changed over a 6 month period, and you could do like a year, but I wanted to do 6 months because it's probably the closest we've been to a game so far. And today I'm doing Grand Theft Auto 5, now the single player. Now, I know it's not exactly 6 months. I mean, 6 months would have been Monday, but there were shorter days or whatever. It's about 6 months from now, so I feel like it's appropriate to do this video now. So, what has Grand Theft Auto 5 changed since the release back in September? Now, I'm not going to be going over online in this video. Online is going to be going for a separate video, which should be around April 1st, so we'll see how that goes. And I'll upload that and talk about how GTA Online changed and everything with that. But let's just talk about the single player today. Now, the single player, not really much has changed. Grand Theft Auto 5 sold a lot. Let's just remember that. It sold a crazy amount of copies on both systems, on 360 and PlayStation 3. It sold about 30 million copies, which is absurd. That is so much money, and obviously on the first day it made so much money, and on like the first 3 days it made like $1 billion. It's ridiculous how much money this game has made. Now the single player, it's nothing has really changed. I mean, patches have come out along the way, fixing maybe some bugs that were in the single player. Mostly those patches were for online things that I'll get to when that video comes out, but just little things. Nothing really new has been added. The DLC that has happened, all the cars and the guns and everything else, all that has been in like single player. That was in multiplayer. You can get the guns, you get the cars, but everything is still very similar. All the gameplay feels the same, and yeah, I mean, the heists, for example, is actually what this gameplay is in the background. It's actually one of the heists from the game. Was one of the biggest selling points for the game, and replaying it, it still was fun getting like this gameplay for you guys. It still felt fun, and it still felt what this game was mostly about, was the heists. Now, let's talk about a bunch of other things about the game and like some news and so on. Has there been DLC announced for GTA 5? Yes, there has been single player DLC that they said more flight missions and more assassination missions. Okay, I get that. That's some new DLC, but what happened to, say, if you remember The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony for GTA 4, those were full-on missions. Those were stories of their own. They had new cars, new weapons, a new protagonist. Basically, you had a whole new way to play the game. So, is there going to be something like that for GTA 5? I hope so. I mean, I'm not sure, because obviously in that game there was a story arc for the three characters, the Trinity. That's what they called it. So I don't know how it would work in GTA 5. Maybe like 6 months later, or a couple months later, maybe a couple years later, what could happen? Maybe a couple years earlier, where Michael and Trevor and like everyone else there is doing heists and stuff, like the first mission, the prologue mission. So would it be something like that? What can we expect from something like that? That would be a good like DLC for it to work. Maybe like the North Yankton, the North Dakota, something like that. Like you could have like its own DLC set there. That would be pretty cool. So we'll see what happens in the future. Now, other than that, I mean, GTA 5, the multiplayer has been very untouched. Other than like the single player has been very kept. The multiplayer has been added on and on and on and on. So everything's still the same with the single player. It's still fun to replay it. The world still feels breathing and alive, and it feels like a really good world. I have 100% in the game. I beat it, and I still will be driving around and get like random encounters, or I'll find like a cool looking car that I want to get, or I'll be driving around and just like funny things will happen, like cop chases will happen and a car will randomly explode because I don't know why. And it's still funny because this has never happened, even though I put in so many hours into the game. So the single player is still fun. Other than that, I mean, it's still fun to get. I mean, if you haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. except if you're waiting to get it on PC. This is a big thing. PC has had no announcement yet, none at all, not even a hint about it. It's absolutely depressing how there's not one just small bit of info just saying PC version is coming. There's been multiple leaks, multiple retailers saying that yes, it's coming here, and you can pre-order it in the beginning of January. You could pre-order it for like the end of March or whatever. There were so many leaks and stuff about the PC version, but none of them came true. Rockstar hasn't even said anything about you know, just PC version. Just hold on. I mean, a lot of things were held up. Now, what I think is the big thing, is just my theory, is that they're holding out because of online and how broken it was and how broken it still is at times. Because if you notice, like online, there are some really bad things that happen, and there's a lot of like mess that still needs to be cleaned up. I mean, heists haven't even come out yet. It's been 5 months, which is really sad. I mean, that was one of the selling points of the game, and it's not out yet, so I think they're waiting until everything's clean with online so they can move it to the next gen consoles and PC. So that's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, so GTA 5 single player, really fun and just breathing. It just feels like a good game, and if you replay it, you'll feel like you're replaying a whole new game, especially with like how live the world is. I mean, you'll find, like I said, random pedestrians that you've never met before, and it's pretty fun. So definitely check it out. If you haven't played it yet, definitely play it. I really suggest it. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, you know, all that stuff, and I'll see you all next time.